guys, so I'm going to pin back my teased hair and I'm going to use Angel Veil by NYX as a primer. I'm also going to smooth out a little bit of my skin with the Estee Edit Pore Filler. For foundation, I'm using my Kat Von D in 42 and the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in white. I'm mixing that together just to bring it down a couple shades, but I mean, I'm white anyway. I'm buffing that in with just a flat top foundation brush. I think this is a NYX one. I also went over that just with a beauty blender to remove any texture. This is my life. This is called Whiteout by Kat Von D. It's one of her cream concealers, and it's kind of like the Pro Foundation Mixer in white, but it's so much better because it's so pigmented. I pop that just underneath my eyes, kind of accentuate my cheekbones. I'm going to be doing kind of like a ghostly skull kind of thing. I also drew on a beard and a little bit of highlights on my top of my forehead, and I just buffed it up with my beauty blender. I also popped some on my lips because I realized I forgot that. And I know this video is super Kat Von D heavy, I just didn't really realize it. So this is her translucent powder, and I'm just setting my whole face with that. I used a brush, but I think it's because my cat took my powder puff, otherwise I would have used a powder puff. This tutorial is really all about blending and shadows. So I'm using the NYX Blush in Taupe, and then this is the Sephora Contour in Tranquil. I'm using those to carve out my cheekbones to make me look like I'm hollow and ghostly. I'm pretty well following my natural anatomy, so just feel where your cheekbone is and where, you know, your teeth are, and just draw in that. I also carved out my jawline as well, so I look extra thin, and I also just put some underneath my lip and on top just to pop up my lip a little bit more, setting the stage for later. Also on my temples. For a little bit of definition, I'm going in with this new palette by Urban Decay, which I'm literally obsessed with. I think it's called the Ultimate Naked, I think. And I'm just adding the red shade for a little bit more dimension to both sides. And all I can say for this is just blend. Just keep blending. I also began putting that underneath my eyes with a pretty fluffy brush. This is the Morphe brush. So you guys, I told you I used the Morphe brushes in the tutorial, and Bailey's coming through. I'm also popping it up through my brow as well, just to give me a really like sad, hollow kind of feel. It's literally going everywhere, and on my outer corner I'm kind of bringing it up into almost like an exaggerated wing, I suppose, and just continuously blending and blending. Also that red shade again, I'm going to build onto that and make it a little bit more smoky. So I had the taupe contour shade, then the red, and then I'm also going to go in with a, that wasn't English, with a darker shade as well. But before that, I'm kind of carving out more of that like sad look because of the ghost, and I think I'm dead. I like to use the beauty blender to blend this out because I find that it gives a nice smoky look. For my eyelids, I'm using the NYX Taming Spray. This is a waterproof, it's a brow pomade, but I love it for putting it on my eyelid just because it does not crease, and I feel like it gives this look specifically a nice smoky, like gray, like kind of worn in old look, so it's not super black. I'm just building that up, and then I'm actually going in with a matte black shadow that was in that Urban Decay palette, and I'm just blending that on top and kind of following those lines that I already created with that red tone. Then for a little bit more definition on the cheeks, I'm taking that same black and same palette, and it's the small little teeny tiny brush, and I'm just carving out that shape a little bit more. And at this point I kind of felt like I was kind of looking like an animal, sort of like a fox or something. So if you want to be a fox, you can use this as well. For my nose, I'm using the NYX matte black liner, and I'm just kind of freestyling this. I kind of want it to look janky and whatever, so I'm just filling in my nose, making it super uneven, you know, squiggly lines. Really didn't like how I was looking like an animal, so I kind of changed the shape of my cheekbones ends there. I kind of rounded them off, and then I added some more of that white cream concealer as a highlight just to pop out those highlights and kind of make that cheekbone recede a little bit. So I was just popping this everywhere, kind of just playing with the light and shadow. I went in again with the matte black by NYX, and this is hard. I drew in a line just to finish and cap off that cheekbone contour, and I tidied up my nose a little bit. I'm going to curl my lashes and pop on some mascara to prep them for lashes, so I'm using the Ink Blot mascara, and then I also threw on some of the Revlon mascara as well. The lashes I'm using are from Velour. I'm using my Duo brush on adhesive and popping those puppies on. Then I had a little boy visit me. He loves a beauty blender, and I don't know if you can see, but my beauty blender was like all bitten up. He's like hanging around while I'm trying to film this. It's just being a bad boy. Look at him. Look at all the bite marks in the beauty blender. He just loves them. Do your guys' cats like beauty blenders too? He literally has 8 all of mine. I had 11, now I have 0. I'm also going to pop on some individual lashes, but before that I'm going in with the Urban Decay, I think this is the Perversion pencil, putting that in my waterline just to completely blacken that. And then for the individual lashes, these ones are super long, and I'm putting 5 on each eye. This kind of just makes it look a little bit girlier, and I just like the look of individual lashes on the bottom line. I'm also putting just a little bit of highlight shade on my brows since I'm not going to do my brows. And for lips, I put a little bit more whiteout on, and I'm kind of freestyling lips. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I kind of just wanted to like darken them a little bit, so I'm just using what was left of my brush and going in with that red tone again and the black a little bit, kind of making me look like I'm a little dead. But I also thought maybe I should put on some teeth to make it look maybe a little bit more like a skull. So that's what I decided to do. I just took a fluffy kind of shadow brush and I just drew some on. I honestly didn't know what I was doing with this. I just went along with it. So I drew in some shadows, and then I'm also going to go in with some highlights. And with that, I'm just going to be using the whiteout again. I'm just going to throw some in between the shadows that I just put on, just to add some more, you know, contrast of textures and light and shadow, you know, add some teeth in there. I also, since I got foundation in my hair, I just decided to put some eyeshadow base in white by NYX in my hair. And lastly, I added some red contacts because it's cool. And that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you recreate this, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.